Okay, this is this famous Candelabra spruce. This was criticized about 25 years ago as being something wrong here. 2 crowns are not allowed. And I believe now, in the year 2025, 2 crowns are allowed. And this started it. Okay, they were there before, but they were frowned at. And now it's sort of accepted. It's not everybody likes it, not everybody does it, but it's one accepted form. It's not a style, it's a form. The style is naturalistic style, okay? But you can do a double crown also in the Orthodox style, but in the Orthodox style it would be wrong, because the Orthodox style does not want that. But the naturalistic style, you can do anything, but it must look good. How does it look good? Well, you make 1 crown smaller, 1 bigger, make it different. So anyway, there was three crowns here, and there was 4 crowns because that also was alive. Anyway, I have refurbished this tree together with Benedict a couple of days ago, and now for me it's finished. Now that's a very rare thing. A finished tree in my garden, I have about 300 trees here. How many are finished? Well, maybe 2 or 3 or 4. This one is now, at this moment. It's freshly cut back, so it's still not quite what I want to do. Next year, in May, when the buds come out, then it will look right. So I want this to look like a real, genuine, old tree. You're not discussing 2 tops or style or anything. You just speak tree here, and it's necessary to know what trees look like up in the mountains at the timberline. There's many people who have never seen that or have not much clue. I grew up there. I'm a mountain boy, okay? Trees do look exactly like this, okay? So it's not just a copy, but very, very similar anyway. Because lightning strikes these, and then some branch decides to grow up and make a new top. And then there's some other branch, and then these branches fight, and now this one won at the moment. But next time the lightning will go through here, and then some branch here. This is how trees look up there at the timberline, and I wanted this to be like that, a real, genuine tree, a bonsai that looks like a tree and not like a bonsai. See, that's how I'm styling trees, but left-handedly. Okay, anyway, and then it was very nice 3 weeks ago. It was very dense, like the Tsuga you are doing, and most people would say, now it's really, the clouds are wonderful, the clouds are great, and now it's a good bonsai. And I said, okay, now it's a good bonsai? Okay, we'll change that. So now we did the following. As you see here, we simply did not cut off branches, but we just made them dead. Quite a lot of those, a lot. And then we cut even more. We took off 50% at least of the green, which was so wonderful, looking very much like a bonsai cloud should look like. But real trees in the Alps don't have clouds. They look like this, like a very radical, brutal nature works on them for centuries. And this is what they have, dead branches everywhere, and they just survive. But the survivor instinct there, you can see, wow, you cannot kill me, I'm still there, okay, woo, and you can try to break something off, but I will grow. So this is this kind of Tyrolean tree, which is so close to my heart, because I grew up there, and this is the answer to your question, how do you do that? Why, you want me to cut out, so you don't have to like it, I think, but it's important to understand it, okay? And again, this is not a style, this is a form, and it's a candelabra form, but the style is a naturalistic style. What is a naturalistic style? A naturalistic style is when you stand in front of that tree and say, oh, nature is the best artist. Then it's naturalistic. If you stand in front of it and say, oh, wow, this is very well refined, then it does not look like a real tree, but like a refined tree, a man-made tree. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that's a different style, and that's called orthodox or even modern style, but still a refined kind of style. Or if some people do like these branches as mathematically, right? and they look pretty cool, but not like reality. They just look good in an artificial way, and I don't want that. But that doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong. But this is my taste, and in the beginning I had big problems because it was a novelty, and people really thought that I am not seeing what good bonsai is, and I'm not understanding it. Although they say you're an intelligent person, Walter. Why don't you understand bonsai? Okay. So, but now they understand that maybe I do understand bonsai, because by the way, if you put a gun at my head, I can make you a good Japanese-looking tree. You bet. I can very well with salad, but I don't want to. Do you think Picasso couldn't have painted some wonderful realistic painting? He didn't want to. Okay, so I'm not comparing myself with Picasso. No.
But you just did.
That's the trick. I insult you and I say, okay, take that back. Treat it as if it weren't said.
So Walter, on looking at a lot of your trees now, you have created a lot more gin work on many of them.
Okay.
The one behind you, the
Next
one here,
one.
one here.
You stay where you are.
So,
Yes.
Look at this.
so it
This-
looks older.
This looks like an old tree, different one, but in the same style, naturalistic style, looking like an old tree, which was beaten by nature, but nature didn't kill him. This is a female, this is more a male, and this also was very dense. Look at this tree over here.
Mm-hmm.
This is how this looked a few weeks ago. And my trick is to not immediately do this. Yeah, well, why don't you do it on all trees? Because you do this over decades. This tree is already in work since 20 years. And I will leave it the wire on for another year. In August about next year, then we'll cut it out and it will look a lot better. Different anyway, for me better. Okay, what's better in art, that's very, very subjective. And of course, as an artist, I try to do something which I personally feel is really, really good. But I'm totally aware that many people don't think so, because they have a different taste. And a long time ago, I thought they have the wrong taste. There is no such thing as a wrong taste. They have a different taste. Okay. However, since I do this, more and more people also have my taste, which is a pretty good sign. So I may have been ahead of my time in doing something like this, and maybe in 20 years it will be totally mainstream. It is already sort of accepted, but not quite mainstream. But then if it's really mainstream, then I will have to start finding a new style. Okay.
So you know what's interesting to me about this one? This is the trunk, very much close to traditional Japanese bonsai. The branch angles are all consistent and downward, which is very much contemporary Japanese bonsai. The shape of the silhouette and the depth of the tree, very contemporary Japanese styling. The main departure is the last mile. So just the newest shoots kind of from there out. But the whole rest of the tree is fairly Japanese approach.
You mean in the fact that the new shoots are more
So
wild?
it's just everything that's the last, 5-10 years, just from there out is different than the way it would be treated in Japan. But the structure of the tree, the shape of the tree, the volume it takes up, the angles of the branches, and the overall silhouette, that's all fairly, and the consistency of the angles, that's a very Japanese.
Well, I have not invented
approach.
this. I'm influenced. I'm brainwashed like everybody is somehow. But I've given my certain kink to that. But that doesn't mean that I have invented this all. I have just fixed it together in a slightly different way.
Well, that's what's interesting, is that one of your best examples of the most mature example of a naturalistic tree actually has many hallmarks of that traditional Japanese design. I wonder if they get closer to each other over time, or if it's just a coincidence in this case.
Well, this actually I will try not to look like we call this very derogative plastic tree, sort of looking like manufactured, like everything being too much man-made. And I try to do the opposite, and now you see it's the same anyway. Okay.